All right, everybody. We've got fantastic news. Got
Yep.
great things to report to everybody here. So,
Numbers.
yeah, I spent a lot of time with Chat GPT, my best friend. Chat GPT helped me code a macro to test 1,000 different combinations of variables in this baseball file.
For baseball.
Yeah, go baseball. So we wanted to see how good could it get? Like how good could it do? When I ran this for Tuesday's games, these combinations here, combinations that when I say combinations, I'll zoom in so you can see a little better. These combinations, combination 3, 6, 124, 240, 242, these are the number of the combination. And this is the distribution of the variable in the specific category. Um, Bullpen ERA factor. This is no longer pitcher win percentage. This is actually something else now, which is innings pitched per start is what I'm using now. I got pitcher win percentage out of there. So that's what that is. It's kind of like a quality start gauge on how their quality starts are. Point is I told everybody these were the combination strings that did the best on Tuesday. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them go 10-2 on Thursday. But there's actually some combinations that did better that won 11 games. And I ran the big macro. It took about 15 minutes to run. It takes over 10 minutes to run because there's so many combinations. It dumps them all in here and it gives us our result and which combination strings. Combination 804 went 11-1. Combination 601 went 11-1. So how do we label those and what do we do in the future and how can I use it to tell you what to use tomorrow? Let's get into that because that's what's happening now. There's a formula right here in the today's wins column, and it is checking after you run the macro. It checks to see how many games this combination string won. So we're going to sort this thing largest to smallest. And what that's going to do is it's going to show these 4 combinations that did the best. All right. And we're going to find out why. Look at this. Great. So this is 1 day. I would call it, actually, I'll put the day that it was. This was 4-5, 11-4, 11 wins and 4 losses. What is going on here? 11 wins and 4 losses. All right. So what that's doing is it's saying, what day did this combination string win? I'm sorry, not 4 losses, 1 loss. 1 loss. It's 11-1. So these 4 combination strings all have that label now. Okay. And something else I like to see is that, like I said, 3 of the combinations that we used from yesterday, this was 4-4's results, okay, from April 4th. That was 8 wins and 6 losses, which is not nearly as good of a day as 11-1. But those were these combinations. So now because we had, and by the way, all these other combinations had 10 wins. Also, how many of these? Tremendous amount had 10 wins today. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can't believe how many. So of all these combinations, there's some value in all of these. It looks like there's 254 of them. I mean, that's a ton. So we could call these, second best, 4, second best, 10-2. That's really what all of these were. Every single one of the ones that had 10 wins. We could label that. And that's where I would stop labeling for the day. Because what we're doing is we're essentially training this model to keep only the best distributions in here so that when we run an average of all of them or when we look in order, we start to see only good distributions. Not every distribution was good. We go to the bottom, we'll see some bad ones. There's some ones that went, pitcher win percentage, which again, that's quality starts, did not work out well. There was one of them that was really bad that only won 5 games. There was some that went 6-6, I guess, because there were 12 games today. But most of them did pretty darn well. And these 4 up here, what was up with these 4? Well, let's see. It looks like today it likes the lineup factor. It liked BABIP, that batter stat, and it liked average runs allowed. What did it not like? It didn't like average runs per game offense. It didn't like bullpen ERA factor. And it liked ERA factor a little bit, it looks like, but it's interesting to see when it like when there's a red number in the middle here, like why did this one also go 11-1? What else helped? It looks like pitcher whip is okay. All right. So you can see this color trend of what was the most winning scenarios. We're going to obviously use these tomorrow, but more importantly, we're going to check scores and we're going to run these. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to look at these four. It's 102, 601, 626, and 804. And here's where we're going to look at them. We're going to go into the matchup sheet. We're going to type combo 102 here. That's where it is. Everything changes and the browse pivot sheet changes now. And it shows you what happened. It shows you the only game that you lost was Minnesota not beating Miami. It had everything else in this order. It had higher margins of victory kind of on top. It had 7 runs for Tampa Bay, 7.8. They put up 7. It had 6 runs for Milwaukee. They put up 7. It had 6 runs for Houston. They put up 8. It had 6 runs for the Yankees. They put up 4. Then the runs get lower, and the runs that were scored were lower for the most part, except the White Sox putting up a lot of runs against San Francisco. And look how it predicted a lot of runs for Cleveland over Oakland, and they do get there because there was a bad pitching matchup. So 102 has an excellent day, picks off 2 underdogs with Atlanta and Pittsburgh. That's pretty awesome. Let's look at the other combinations that did well. 601. So let's go do 601 now. Change the matchup sheet to 601 and then refresh the browse pivot sheet. And the order slightly changes. Okay. And you can see you get the runs exactly correct with Milwaukee here. You get more runs in the Houston game. Well, actually about the same. Cleveland moves up a little bit. Minnesota stays in about the same place. What about this other combination? 626. Let's try that one. 626. Refresh. And same thing where Minnesota just loses right in the middle, but this is an 11-1 day, and I mean, you can't really complain about this. So the macro that I sat and ran here for 12, 13 minutes absolutely did its job. And it created, it showed us that this could have gone 11-1 with 2023 stats. And it went about 10-2 with a couple of the combinations that I told you to play yesterday. So now we're going to leave these in this order, which means tomorrow, when you get Thursday's version, it was a good save. We're watching that Edmonton-Anaheim game at the same time here. When you get tomorrow's file, when you subscribe, you're going to want to use one of these combinations or test out a couple of them in this sheet for what Thursday's games are going to show on here.
Oh, went 5-1. He caught it.
Still saved it, yeah. So that's what we're doing here is we're going to leave them in this order, and then we're going to start labeling, and we're going to see if any of these combinations can win in consecutive days or can win multiple days, because we got really close with combination 242, combination 540, and combination 956, because they were the best on Tuesday, and they got 10 wins on Wednesday, but they didn't get the 11 wins that these ones got. So we're moving these ones to the top now. We're assuming these are our best contribution variable numbers. These are our best combos. So that's what you do tomorrow is, you test at least one of these, and you use this for your projections, because when you look at what the game projections were, they were not bad. They were pretty good with this. We're looking at combination 626. It said 5-3 Yankees, they win 4-2. It said 7-1 or 8-1 Tampa Bay, they win 7-2. The only game you lose is Minnesota and Miami. It's the only one, and the score kind of gets flipped. So Miami put some runs up. Atlanta, 4-3, they win 5-2. Pittsburgh, 5-4, they win 4-1. Mets, they were supposed to lose 6-2, they lost 7-6, so they put up some more runs than we thought. Baltimore was supposed to lose 4-3, they lose 5-2. San Francisco was supposed to lose 4-3-ish, and they lose 7-3. Detroit was supposed to lose 6-3. They lose 8-2. Cleveland was supposed to lose but win because this was a weird game because this guy had an ERA of 18, and that was the problem with projecting this game. So even though it projected Cleveland to win the game, it screwed up the runs because of these weird ERAs here. So it's a win because the margin is positive, even though the score was flipped. So we're calling that a win. Also, the pick rank was 10. So that's why it tells you to pick Cleveland, even though the runs are screwed up here because of the ERAs of these guys.
Yeah.
Angels were supposed to win 4-3. They win 4-3. Wow. And Toronto was supposed to win 5-3 and they win 3-0. That's pretty darn awesome. That's pretty darn awesome. So
That is so
we'll leave it in this order and I'll send it out to those who subscribe. You want to purchase a copy, you're going to get it with the macro. You can follow the advice. You can run this every day and you can see that there's intelligence here. I never would have come up with this distribution ever, no matter how hard I tried, but the random numbers came up with it and it filtered it to the top. And you can see that the algorithm had a pretty good day with 2023 stats, and 11-1 is nothing to scoff at. And we call it really a 10-2 day. Like one of the combinations I said to use yesterday, like number 242, let's see how that actually did today. Because that's kind of what I told you to play, was one of those combinations. So 242, refresh the browse pivot on that. And we'll see what else did we lose. We lose Minnesota and we lose Oakland because of the weird ERA game. So that's kind of okay. It's because of super weird ERAs for the Cleveland pitcher at 18, which needed to be streamlined. So guys and gals, if there are any gals, there are no gals watching this. It's all guys.
Yeah.
But
like 20-year-old guys.
yeah, probably. Well, this is awesome. This is awesome, and it's exactly what I wanted it to do, which was to find the secret ones and also the ones from yesterday. 3 of those 8 went 10-2. That's pretty darn good. That's really good. And the other ones, let's see if they all did okay. This was 4-4. This one, they had oh, wait a minute. We need to also do one day best. These 2. Yeah, the other ones won 9 games, 1-8, 1-7. So the worst you do is 7-5 with this distribution here, which is heavy on innings per start. Don't use these. I almost want to not use this first variable. We got to come up with a better variable than innings pitch per start or pitcher win percentage. I want to find out some other type of stat to use here because this is worthless. Pitcher win percentage and pitching starting stuff, it's just not a good gauge of who's going to win the game. Other things are more of a factor. It's clear. All right. So great news all around. And you've got 4 more days of me doing this. And we're going to, I'm not going to leave you until there's 3 winning days in a row. Today was absolutely a winning day, and we'll see how it is. I would say to go with this one on top, go with 102 tomorrow. That's the one to go with. It's got the lowest innings pitch per start number of all of them. It says stay away from bullpen ERA factor, says stay away from average runs per game and focus on things like BABIP, lineup factor, ERA, and pitcher whip, and average runs allowed a little bit. More than a little bit. I mean, it's there a couple times. So that's what we're going to do. So baseball is starting to crush it, and it's starting to get on autopilot because that was loud, because it's just doing what it is supposed to do, which is tell us what distribution to use. And then you get a day like this. So good luck, everyone. I hope your picks won today, and I hope they'll be winning tomorrow when we get this out. There will not be a preview video. It's just going to be a recap video because I'm running around doing a lot of other work, and this is secondary. I didn't do anything with this today other than get it prepared and then also look at the recap right now. So that's the way it's going to be for every day.
Is he whiffing roller hockey shots?
I wasn't whiffing roller hockey shots. I was shooting fine.
You were taking slap shots that weren't coming off the
Yeah, that would stick. That sure would. I have I gotta hold it lower or something. The puck is not rising when I hit a slap shot. Wrist shots were fine, snapshots, but
The wrist shots were decent.
all right. Anyway, that's enough roller hockey talk. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.